All right, so luckily for us, we are able to observe a more concise video for XRP here. And that being said, it was actually requested by one of the master students inside of our lecture today. So yeah, let's get ready for a potential rocker here. Welcome back to the team. Everybody, please, please, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. My name is Arca, coming at you here on September 25th, Thursday, 10:01 p.m. Pacific time. Live price is sitting at 276.20, and we are observing a formation here on an immediate short term, right? So this is a broadening wedge descending, and this typically has a, I know we're in a 4-minute time frame here, and that usually gives us a lesser probability, right? Well, I gotta say that even in the smaller time frames, it does have a pretty nice output value, I guess, batting average, strike rate, whatever you want to call it. And the target is usually figured or completed at the genesis of the formation itself. So you can see here that it would be around the targets of 277.56. I've already taken the liberty of giving you the actual raw price target. So that would be roughly 278.28 on that upside. Now, as we continue here, I'm starting to see the workings of a pretty extended and nice looking inverse head and shoulders, which typically is the exit strategy for this formation here, and it does have an upper bound target as well, other than the fact that we're already getting a 277.56 from our broadening wedge. Before I give you that, I just want to make sure that you remember, guys, that when you join the Arca server, there's going to be a bunch of me's that are going to be reaching out to you saying, hey, I'm what crypto are you trading? Are you part of our community now? Guys, I will never reach out to you first. I will never friend request you first either. Okay, guys, know that it's probably not me that you're talking to. And let's go ahead and just maybe come into the Arca team and wait for this live private prep or whatever, and maybe you can validate that it's me in these live preps here. Okay, guys. So now officially, guys, the beginners are coming to a close, and I am now offering the back to school event. Please go ahead and look in the description below, guys, as the seats will get filled very quickly before the next set of master students come in. So should you be interested for beginners trading and or more advanced lectures, then please go ahead and sign up at the bottom and send me an email as soon as you do. Okay, guys? Well, thank you so much. That is arcabulls@gmail.com. Stop with the shilling. Let's get with the drilling here, right? Okay. So yeah, we're getting that upside already as per expected on the formation here for the inverse head and shoulders and the broadening wedge, right? Cool stuff. Let's go ahead and observe what that the head and shoulders looks like, right? I'm seeing like multiple shoulders here, right? Just like this, potential head down here and potential shoulders right here. So this gives a pretty nice potential here for price action. Now, this regression here will not be the acting neckline for that inverse head and shoulders. In fact, I do think that we could probably use something around here. Yeah, I think I would use it just about here. And the neckline would probably be more like this here. I understand that it's actually giving you a gigantic upside, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and just measure what that take profit is. So let's go ahead and put it in the, I guess, in the center of our shoulders here. And this is observing or giving you a target of roughly around 279.10. So if it is 279.10, I've already marked off the areas that are true targets here. So that would actually give you a pretty nice focus zone between the zones of 278.24, right, and the area of 280.92, marking off another zone that we can observe here psychologically. Now, psychologically, I would have to use the confluence of this wick right about here in a 4-minute time frame, but can we actually use that? Sure. Check it out. Right around there, the 279.31 becomes an area of interest right away. So within the next, I don't know, maybe an hour or less, we could be observing price action within this zone here. So I guess, for the more immediate time, I will give you a more focused area for take profit. So this would be for the short-term traders. This would be for momentum starting from a downside. So this is your immediate short-term price action determination here, or forecast, right? Whatever you want to call it. So now let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here on a larger time frame, as there are critical time frames that are closing, and I will have to make you completely aware of these right now. Okay, guys, let's take a look at your weekly time frame. frame. Weekly bar, 2 days, 19 hours to close. That means that roughly when this countdown of 2 days, 19 hours that you're seeing right about here, when that reaches on the weekly time frame specifically, when it reaches the, what is it? I'd say around 6.25 hours, around there. That's going to give you a likelihood of a retracement to the 50% of the weekly bar. Now, when we go up to the bi-weekly bar, there is also that confluence too. It is closing in 2 days and 19 hours. Now, opposing the weekly time frame, this starts to retrace a little sooner. So this actually would be, or a little larger in time, right? So as soon as this thing starts reaching let's see, 12 and a half hours prior to the close, that would be roughly when this thing starts to kind of decompress, right back to the 50%, and even further than that, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. This is your monthly time frame, and it's looking pretty nice here, right? Kind of like a inverted hammer, potential bull flag forming on a monthly time frame. Good stuff. What I gotta say about XRP here is that while it's 4 days and 19 hours to close this monthly time frame, this means that you're getting around, I would say, let's see, 2 weeks. That would be that would be roughly around 50 hours prior to the closing of this month. You would be getting that pullback. But more importantly, your quarterly bar. Your quarterly bar is coming to a close as well, right? We're about to close quarter 3 here, and you're already decompressed to the 50% of this bar. Hence the upside on the decompression from the smaller time frames, except this one here starts to decompress at around 72-ish hours prior to the closing of the bar. And where are we right now? Well, 72 hours-ish, 78 hours-ish, right in between there, kind of does a 3 to maybe 3.5 day time frame before this starts to what? At this point, we already decompressed, so this would be upside. So, okay, guys, so we're looking at the behavior of this taking us into a higher likelihood, just literally within I don't know, this could be tonight, tomorrow, but something is also telling me, guys, that in light of the closing of all these monthlies, that we may actually hover down here for a bit, maybe at least till the end of to the end of the week, maybe, I'm sorry, to the beginning of next week, and then observe the continuation. Usually expansion tends to happen at the open of your following month, but in this case, it's not only just a month. It's actually a 1 month, a 3 month, and guess what? There is also the potentials of closing a 9 month in 4 days and 19 hours, and guess what? This already retraced that gigantic 50%, and it is now continuing towards the upside. Well, just to give you an idea over what the quarterly bar stokes look like, this is what they look like so far. And what about your 9 month, right? There we go. So this hasn't even closed, and we're already expanding. We're already making a giant continuation to the upside. For the immediate short term, you already have the targets. You already have my feel on this, right? I think that there could be some short-term volatility. Sure, we can always come back down to your 269s, 273s, right? Even your 264s. Know that the true supports down there, guys. I can't speak on this. I can't tell you if it is going to happen or not. Is what I'm really trying to say here before I got stuck completely in languages here. Your true supports are actually around the 248s, 250s. Even into the 265, where there's true 50% regression or a dispersion. So if that is the case, then we have macro bottoms around those areas, because that would be the breakout strategy from something, say, on a 5-day time frame, right? You're just simply observing price action create this gigantic move, right? Kind of like this, right? This is your inflection point, right? So price action breaks above inflection, resists at the very top side here, pulls back, validates this area here before continuation to the upside, which means that technically speaking, we would be kind of ready for a continuation to the upside, seeing that in the present time, we are already in a smaller 50% retrace as well. It would be this right over here. So this area of equal reactions marks off a 265-ish area right around this point here. So we're kind of hovering over that. And we've seen price action from these points kind of reject ridiculously. Your 270 bottom here went all the way up to 320, right? Your 270, 270, sorry. And your 273 here bounced all the way up to 339, guys. This is enormous price action and some price action that we should not ignore. Can we drop? Of course we can. Whatever's cheap can always be cheaper. Can I validate that? No. Psychology will eventually do what it has to do. Price will do what it has to before we continue. But I am bullish the asset. And it is absolutely in a very bullish stance as well, right? Some people see the straight line here. There is also the possibility of regression in this form here, right? There's also the possibility that this is actually a falling wedge, roughly at the 50%. So I'm wondering if maybe this can take precedence. We don't know, but I do see upside into the immediate short term. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and leave you here. We're going to continue observing this and studying this as much as we can, right? And should you have any questions or concerns, reach out to me. Please don't be shy. All right, guys? Well, thank you so much, and I will speak to you very, very scary Larry soon. All right, team? Adios, and yeah, adios. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever, 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 ever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well. A very, very good rest of your night and or day. And I'll catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team. Oh, yeah.